The royal procession has split. King Robert's party continues south toward King's Landing, a river of crimson and gold banners disappearing over the southern hills. The wall-bound party waits at the crossroads, a handful of black-clad recruits, Benjen Stark and Jon Snow. Jon sits on his horse, staring north. The wall is weeks away, a lifetime away. Everything he thought he wanted. Ned Stark rides up beside him. His face is troubled. He's been quiet all morning. "Jon," Ned says. "A word. Alone." When they're out of earshot, Ned stops. He looks at Jon for a long moment. His hand rests on Ice's pommel, gripping it like an anchor. "You asked a dozen times over the years." Jon's heart hammers. "You always said we'd talk about it later. You said when we next saw each other." "I lied." Ned's voice is flat. "I've lied to you your whole life, Jon. About who you are, about where you came from, about everything." Ned looks around, making sure no one can hear. When he speaks again, his voice is barely above a whisper. "Your mother was Lyanna Stark. My sister. Your mother was Lyanna. She died giving birth to you at a place called the Tower of Joy in Dorne. I was there when she died. I held her hand. Her last words were a plea, a command, to protect you." Jon can't breathe, can't think. "But if Lyanna was my mother, then who was my father?" Ned closes his eyes. When he opens them, there's pain in them. Deep, old pain. "Rhaegar Targaryen." The name hangs in the air like a sword. Jon staggers back. No, that's not. Robert killed Rhaegar at the Trident. Everyone knows the story. Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna. He raped her. He married her. Ned's voice is steel. They loved each other, Jon. Rhaegar didn't kidnap Lyanna. She went willingly. They were married before the Seven in a secret ceremony. You are their legitimate son, not a bastard. A prince, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Jon's legs give out. He sits down hard on a rock. Ghost presses against him, whining. "You're lying," Jon says. But his voice is weak. "This is some kind of... Why would you tell me this now?" "Because you're about to take vows that will bind you for life. Vows that say you'll wear no crowns and win no glory. If you take those vows not knowing who you truly are," Ned kneels beside Jon. "I couldn't let you throw away your birthright without knowing what you were giving up." "Birthright?" Jon laughs. "It's a broken sound. I'm a bastard. Jon Snow. That's all I've ever been. That's all I'll ever..." "Your name is not Jon Snow." Ned grips Jon's shoulders. "Your mother named you Aegon. Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name. You are the blood of the dragon and the blood of the wolf. You are the son of the last dragon and the she-wolf of Winterfell." Jon shoves Ned's hands away. He stands, stumbling. No. This is why are you doing this? Why now? Why not tell me before? Because if Robert discovers the truth, he will kill you." Ned's voice is raw. "Robert hates the Targaryens with every fiber of his being. He had Rhaegar's other children murdered. Infants, Jon. Babies smashed against walls. If he knew you existed, he would hunt you to the ends of the earth." "Then why tell me at all?" Jon's voice cracks. "If the truth is so dangerous, why not let me take the black and disappear? Why burden me with this?" "Because I saw your face this morning. I saw the way you looked at the wall, like you were riding to your own execution." Ned stands. "I raised you, Jon. I know you. And I know that you were going to the Watch not because you wanted to serve, but because you thought you had nowhere else to go. Because you thought you were nothing. A bastard with no future, no family, no hope." Tears burn Jon's eyes. "I am nothing. I've always been nothing. You are everything." Ned's voice breaks. "You are the heir to a dynasty that ruled for 300 years. You are..." "I'm a lie," Jon screams. The words echo across the crossroads. "You've lied to me every single day of my life. You let me believe I was your bastard. You let your wife hate me. You let me grow up thinking I was proof of your dishonor when you..." He stops. The realization hits him like a hammer. "You sacrificed your honor for me. You let everyone think you broke your marriage vows. You let Caitlyn hate you. You let the entire realm think you were an oathbreaker. For me." "Yes." Ned's face is wet with tears. "And I would do it again. 1,000 times. Because Lyanna died in my arms begging me to protect you. And I swore to her that I would. No matter the cost." Jon can't speak. He turns away, staring at the northern road. The road to the wall. The road to the life he thought he wanted. But that life was built on a lie. Everything was built on a lie. "What am I supposed to do?" Jon asks. His voice is small, lost. "That's your choice." Ned moves to stand beside him. "You can ride north. Take the black. Wear no crowns and win no glory. The Night's Watch will protect you. Robert will never look for you there. You'll be safe. Or you turn back, come home to Winterfell, and we figure out what to do together." Ned pauses. "But Jon, you need to understand. If you don't take the black, if the truth ever comes out, there will be war. Robert will try to kill you. The Lannisters will try to kill you. Half the realm will want you dead. The other half will want to use you. So my choices are hide at the wall for the rest of my life, or start a war that will kill thousands. Jon laughs bitterly. Those are terrible choices. They're the only choices I can give you. Ned puts a hand on Jon's shoulder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jon. I never wanted this for you. I wanted you to grow up safe and loved and far away from the Game of Thrones. But the truth has a way of emerging, and I couldn't let you take vows without knowing. Jon looks at Ghost. The direwolf's red eyes stare back at him. Does anyone else know? Jon asks. Howland Reed. He was with me at the Tower of Joy. He's the only living witness besides me. So if you and Howland die, the truth dies with you. Yes. Jon takes a shuddering breath. I need time to think. We don't have time. Ned's voice is urgent. I'm riding to King's Landing today. You're riding to the wall. Once we part here, it could be months, years before we see each other again. You have to decide now, Jon. The Black or Winterfell? Safety or truth? Jon looks north, then south, then at Ned. If I go back to Winterfell, what happens? I don't know. We tell Robb. Maybe Catelyn. We keep the secret as long as we can. We prepare. And we hope that when the truth finally comes out, and it will come out, we're strong enough to survive it. If we're not strong enough, then we die. But at least we die together, as family. Jon closes his eyes. He thinks about the wall, about taking vows, about spending the rest of his life watching and waiting in the cold and the dark. He thinks about never seeing Robb again, never seeing Arya, never knowing what could have been. He thinks about his mother, Lyanna Stark, who died bringing him into the world, who loved Rhaegar Targaryen enough to start a war. He thinks about his father, not Ned, but Rhaegar, the last dragon, killed at the Trident fighting for love. He thinks about the lie, the 15-year lie that made him Jon Snow instead of Aegon Targaryen. When he opens his eyes, the decision is made. I'm going back to Winterfell, not knowing what I know. I can't spend the rest of my life wondering, what if? Jon looks at Ned. You've carried the secret for 15 years. It's my turn to carry it now. I've always been proud of you. No matter what happens, remember that. They separate. Ned walks back toward the northern party. He speaks to Benjen quietly. Benjen looks confused, then concerned. He glances at Jon. Jon mounts his horse. Ghost leaps up behind him, riding on the saddle. Benjen rides over. Jon? What's going on? Ned says you're not coming to the wall. I'm not. Jon's voice is steady now. Decided. I'm going home. But why? You wanted this. You were ready. I was wrong. I'm not ready. And I don't want to take vows I'm not certain I can keep. Benjen studies him. This is about your mother, isn't it? Ned finally told you. Jon's eyes widen. You knew? I guessed. I'm not an idiot, nephew. You have Lyanna's face, her eyes, her stubborn pride. Benjen smiles sadly. But I never asked. And Ned never confirmed. Some secrets are too dangerous to speak aloud. Everything. And now you're going back to Winterfell to do something incredibly stupid and brave. Just like Lyanna would have. Benjen sighs. Be careful, Jon. The truth you carry could break the realm. I know. Do you? Because I don't think you do. Not yet, but you will. Benjen grips Jon's hand. When you're ready, when the time comes, send word to Castle Black. I'll help however I can. Thank you, Uncle. Benjen rides back to the northern party. He gives orders. The recruits look confused, but they obey. Jon turns his horse south, toward Winterfell, toward home, toward a future he can't predict and a truth he can't escape. Ned rides up one last time. Jon, one more thing. What? Then he rides south, toward King's Landing and the Game of Thrones, and the fate that awaits him there. Jon watches him go. Then he turns his horse and rides hard for Winterfell. Ghost runs beside him, white fur streaming in the wind. Behind them, the crossroads recedes. The choice is made. Jon Snow is going home, but the boy who arrives at Winterfell will not be the same boy who left. Winterfell courtyard 3 days later. Robb Stark is training in the yard when the rider appears. At first, he doesn't recognize the horse. Then he sees the white direwolf running alongside, and his heart stops. Jon, what are you doing here? What happened? Jon dismounts. He looks at Robb, and there's something in his expression that Robb has never seen before. Fear. Deep, bone-deep fear. I need to talk to you, Jon says. Alone. Now. The urgency in Jon's voice silences Robb. He nods. The gods would. No one will disturb us there. They walk through Winterfell in silence. Ghost follows. The castle staff watches them pass, whispering, Why is Jon Snow back? Where is Lord Eddard? In the Godswood, beneath the hard tree with its carved face and red sap like blood, Jon finally speaks. Father told me the truth. About my mother. About who I really am. My mother was Lyanna Stark. Rob's breath catches. What? How is that possible? Father said. Father lied. To everyone. For 15 years. Jon's voice is shaking. Lyanna was my mother, and my father was Rhaegar Targaryen. The words hang in the air like a death sentence. Rob steps back. No, no, that's not Jon. That's not possible. Rhaegar kidnapped Lyanna. He raped her. Everyone knows. They loved each other. They married. I'm their legitimate son. Jon pulls a small token from his pocket. A piece of cloth with embroidered winter roses. Father gave me this. It belonged to Lyanna. She was wearing it when she died. When she gave birth to me. Rob takes the cloth. His hands are shaking. If this is true, if you're really Rhaegar's son, Jon, you're not a bastard. You're a prince. You're the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. I know. Jon laughs, and it's a horrible sound. Isn't that funny? I spent my whole life hating that I was a bastard, and it turns out I'm not. I'm something worse. I'm a Targaryen, the son of the man Robert Baratheon hates more than anyone in the world. If he knew, he'd kill you. That's why Father lied. That's why he claimed me as his bastard. To protect me. Jon sits beside Rob. And now I've come back here instead of taking the black. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be this person. I don't know how to be Aegon Targaryen. Aegon? That's the name Lyanna gave me. Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name. Jon covers his face with his hands. God's Rob, what am I supposed to do? For a long moment, Rob doesn't answer. He's processing, trying to understand. His brother, the boy he grew up with, trained with, loved like blood, is actually his cousin, is actually a Targaryen, is actually a king. We keep the secret, Rob says finally. We tell no one. We wait for Father to come back from King's Landing, and then we figure it out together. Mother will know something's wrong. She'll see me here and demand to know why I came back. Rob winces. Caitlin, his mother, who hated Jon his entire life because she thought he was Ned's bastard. The proof of Ned's broken vows. We have to tell her, Rob says. If we don't, she'll make things worse. She'll, he trails off. Will Caitlin understand? Will she forgive? I don't want to tell her, Jon says. I don't want to see the look in her eyes when she realizes she was wrong. That she spent 15 years hating an innocent child. We don't have a choice. If you're here, she'll know something happened. She'll demand answers. And if we lie to her, it'll only make things worse. Jon closes his eyes. Then we tell her. But you tell her, Rob. I can't. I can't face her. All right, I'll tell her. Tonight, after the household goes to bed. Rob stands. Until then, you stay in the Godswood. Stay out of sight. The fewer people who see you, the better. And what do I do after tonight? After we tell Mother? I don't know. But we'll figure it out. Together. Rob pulls Jon to his feet. You're my brother, Jon. That hasn't changed. Stark, Targaryen, Snow, whatever your name is, you're my brother. And I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Blood doesn't change that. Nothing changes that. Winterfell Caitlyn's solar night. Caitlyn Stark sits by the fire, embroidering. The household is asleep. The castle is quiet. There's a knock at the door. Come, she says. Rob enters. His face is pale. Mother, I need to talk to you. It's important to... Caitlyn sets down her embroidery. What's wrong? Is it your father? No, it's Jon. Caitlyn goes very still. What are you talking about? Jon came back from the crossroads 3 days ago. Father told him the truth before they parted. About his mother. About who he really is. Rob, what truth? What did Ned tell that boy? Jon's mother was Lyanna Stark, Father's sister. Caitlyn's embroidery falls from her hands. That's impossible. Father told Jon himself. At the crossroads. He told him everything. Rob takes a breath. Lyanna Stark was Jon's mother, and Rhaegar Targaryen was his father. They were married. Jon is their legitimate son, the heir to the Iron Throne. The fire crackles. Caitlyn stares at Rob like he's spoken a foreign language. You're lying, she whispers. I'm not. Jon showed me proof, a token that belonged to Lyanna. Father gave it to him. No. Caitlyn stands. Her legs are unsteady. No. Ned wouldn't. He wouldn't lie to me for 15 years. He wouldn't let me hate that boy if he was innocent. He wouldn't. He did. Rob's voice is gentle. He lied to protect Jon. Robert Baratheon would have killed him if he knew. So Father claimed Jon as his bastard. Let everyone think he broke his marriage vows. Let you hate him. To keep Jon alive. Mother, he was family. And I treated him like poison. Tears streamed down her face. Oh gods, oh gods, what have I done? Robb kneels beside her. You didn't know. No one knew except Father and Howland Reed. I should have trusted Ned. I should have known he would never betray me. I should have loved that boy anyway, bastard or not, because he was a child. Caitlin covers her face. Where is he? Where is Jon? In the Godswood. He's been hiding there for 3 days. He didn't want to face you. Caitlin's voice breaks. I made him afraid of me. What do we do, Mother? How do we protect him? Caitlin wipes her eyes. When she speaks again, her voice is steel. We keep the secret, we tell no one else, and we wait for your father to return from King's Landing. She stands. But first, I need to see Jon. I need to tell him, I'm sorry. Mother, are you sure? Jon is... Jon is my nephew. He's Ned's blood, and Lyanna's son. And I owe him an apology. That is, Winterfell Godswood night. Jon sits beneath the heart tree. Ghost curled at his feet. He's been here for hours, thinking. Wondering if he made the right choice coming back. Footsteps approach. Jon tenses, hand going to his sword. Robb emerges from the darkness. Behind him, Caitlin. Jon stands. Every muscle in his body screams to run. Caitlin stops a few feet away. She looks at Jon, really looks at him, maybe for the first time in his life. You have Lyanna's face, she says softly. I see it now. How did I never see it before? Jon doesn't answer. Can't answer. Robb told me the truth. About who you are. About what Ned did to protect you. Caitlin takes a step closer. Jon, I need to tell you something. And I need you to listen. Caitlin's voice is firm. I owe you an apology that I can never fully make. I spent 15 years hating you for something that wasn't your fault. I was cruel to you. I made you feel unwelcome in your own home. And I'm sorry. I can't undo the past. I can't take back the things I said or the way I treated you, but I can promise you this. From this moment forward, I will protect you. I will stand by you, because you are Ned's nephew. You are Lyanna's son. You are family. His voice is thick. I'm not doing this out of obligation. I'm doing this because it's right. Caitlin moves closer. May I embrace you? Jon nods, not trusting his voice. Caitlin pulls him into her arms. She holds him like she should have held him 15 years ago, when he first came to Winterfell, as an infant. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry, Jon. Jon's tears fall freely now. He's crying for the childhood he lost, for the mother he never knew, for the father who sacrificed everything to protect him. When they separate, Catelyn wipes her eyes. Now, she says, her voice returning to its usual briskness, we need to make a plan. The three of us know the truth. That's already dangerous. Who else needs to know? The fewer people who know, the safer I am. Maester Luwin should know, Robb says. We'll need his counsel. And his discretion. Agreed, Caitlin says. Anyone else? Theon? Robb suggests. No, Jon and Caitlin say simultaneously. Theon is loyal to you, Robb, but he's still Balon Greyjoy's son, Caitlin explains. We can't risk him sending word to the Iron Islands. The Greyjoys fought for the Targaryens during Robert's rebellion. If they learn Jon is Rhaegar's son, they might try to use him. So just us four, Robb says. Us three and Maester Luwin. For now, Caitlin agrees. Until Ned returns and we can plan our next move. I can't hide in the Godswood forever. The household already knows I'm back. They're asking questions. We tell them you changed your mind about the Night's Watch, Caitlin says. You decided you weren't ready to take the Black. It's unusual, but not unheard of. Some men come back from the Wall. They'll think I'm a coward, Jon says. Let them think what they want, Robb says. What matters is keeping you safe and alive. We wait, Caitlin agrees. But even as she says it, she feels a chill, a premonition of disaster. The truth is out. The secret is spreading, and secrets, once spoken, can never be fully contained. King's Landing, Tower of the Hand, 2 weeks later. Ned Stark sits at his desk, reviewing accounts. The capital is drowning in debt. Robert's spending is catastrophic. And underneath the numbers, Ned is investigating something else. Jon Arryn's death. The former Hand of the King, dead of a sudden illness. But Ned is beginning to suspect it wasn't illness at all. There's a knock at the door. A messenger enters, carrying a raven scroll. Lord Hand. This just arrived from Winterfell. Marked urgent. Breaks the seal. Reads. His face goes pale. The letter is from Caitlin. 3 words, repeated over and over in her handwriting. He came back. He came back. He came back. Ned crumples the letter. His hands shake. Jon came back. Jon didn't take the black. Jon is at Winterfell. The secret is no longer contained to just Ned and Helen Reed. Now Catelyn knows. Robb knows. Jon himself knows. The truth is spreading, and in King's Landing, surrounded by enemies, Ned Stark realizes he's just made the most dangerous gamble of his life. He told Jon the truth, to give the boy a choice. Now he has to live with the consequences. Winterfell Great Hall. 1 month later. Life at Winterfell has settled into a new rhythm. He's no longer banished to the end of the table. Catelyn treats him with careful kindness. The household staff whispers about the change. Some think Lady Catelyn has finally forgiven the bastard. Others think Jon has somehow earned her favor. No one guesses the truth. In Maester Luwin's tower, late at night, the 4 conspirators meet. Any word from Ned? Catelyn asks. He sent a coded letter last week, Luwin says. He's an old man, weathered by years of service, but his mind is sharp. He's investigating Jon Arryn's death. He suspects murder. Murder? Robb straightens. Who would kill the Hand of the King? That's what Ned is trying to discover. Luwin looks at Jon. But the letter also contained a warning for you, Jon. Ned says the capital is dangerous. The Lannisters are everywhere. And Robert is drinking himself to death. If Robert dies, Luwin pauses. If Robert dies before producing a legitimate heir, the succession is unclear. Joffrey is next in line, but there are questions about his legitimacy. What kind of questions? Ned didn't specify, but he's looking into the lineage of House Baratheon, comparing Joffrey to Robert's bastards. You think Joffrey isn't Robert's son? Robb's eyes widen. I think Ned suspects something. And if those suspicions are confirmed, Luwin looks at each of them in turn. The realm could descend into civil war. Then we need to be ready, Catelyn says. If war comes, the North must be prepared to defend itself. Against who? Jon asks. The Lannisters? The Crown? If your secret comes out, we'll need allies, armies, resources. Mother's right, Robb says. We should quietly start reaching out to our bannermen, strengthen our alliances, build up our forces. Without raising suspicion, Luwin warns. If the Lannisters learn that the North is mobilizing, they'll investigate why. Then we do it quietly, Catelyn says. Guest invitations, trade agreements, betrothals, normal northern business. Jon stands. I don't want this. I don't want you preparing for war because of me. It's not because of you, Robb says. It's for you. Your family, Jon. We protect our own. Jon wants to argue. Wants to say he should just leave. Go far away where his existence won't endanger everyone he loves. But he can't. Because he knows now that running won't help. The truth is already out there, waiting to explode. All he can do is prepare for the blast. All right, Jon says quietly. We prepare, but carefully. And we wait for Father to send word. Agreed, Catelyn says. The meeting breaks up. Robb and Catelyn leave. Luwin and Jon remain. You're afraid, Luwin observes. It's not a question. Every day, Jon admits. I'm afraid someone will discover the truth. I'm afraid Robert will find out and march north. I'm afraid I'll get everyone I love killed, just by existing. He pulls down a thick volume. I've been researching the Targaryen dynasty, their history, their customs. If you truly are Aegon Targaryen, you should know where you come from. I just want to be Jon, Robb's brother, a Stark. You're both, and that's your strength. Luwin puts a hand on Jon's shoulder. The blood of the wolf and the blood of the dragon. You're something the realm has never seen before. That could be terrifying, or it could be exactly what Westeros needs. Jon opens the book. The first page shows a family tree, the Targaryen kings, stretching back 300 years. At the bottom, a name, Rhaegar Targaryen. Beside it, in Luwin's handwriting, Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen 6. Jon closes the book. I'm not ready for this. No one ever is, Luwin says gently. But ready or not, the world is changing. And you're at the center of it. King's Landing, Tower of the Hand 2 months later. Ned Stark reads the letter again. The words blur. His hands shake. It's from Stannis Baratheon. Short, terse, devastating. The seed is strong. Jon Arryn knew. I know. You must know too by now. Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen are not Robert's children. They are Jaime Lannister's bastards, born of incest between Cersei and her twin brother. Robert has no legitimate heirs. When he dies, the throne passes to me by law. But I won't be the only one with a claim. Do you understand me, Stark? If the truth about the Lannister bastards comes out, others will come forward with their own claims. Old claims. Dragon claims keep your secrets, Lord Hand. I'll keep mine. For now. Ned burns the letter. His mind races. Stannis knows. Somehow, impossibly, Stannis knows about Jon. Or suspects. Either way, The web is tightening. Ned writes a letter to Winterfell. Coded. Careful. The lions are not what they seem. The stag is dying. The kraken and the rose are watching. Keep the wolf hidden. Winter is coming. He sends the raven north. And prays he's not too late. The raven arrives during the midday meal. Maester Luwin enters the hall, his face grave. He walks directly to where Catelyn sits at the high table. Robb and Jon are beside her, eating with the household. Luwin leans close and whispers something. Catelyn's face drains of color. She stands abruptly. Robb, Jon, come with me, now. The household watches as they leave. Theon Greyjoy leans over to a serving girl. What do you think that's about? The girl shrugs. Nothing good by the look on her face. Her voice shakes. The lions are not what they seem. The stag is dying. The kraken and the rose are watching. Keep the wolf hidden. Winter is coming. What does it mean? Robb asks. It's coded, Luwin says. Ned wouldn't write openly about dangerous matters, but I believe I can interpret it. He points to each phrase. The lions, the Lannisters, are not what they seem. This likely refers to something Ned has discovered about them, something dangerous. The stag is dying. Catelyn reads. Robert is dying, or will die soon. Luwin says grimly. The kraken is House Greyjoy. The rose is House Tyrell. Both are watching, waiting to see what happens when Robert dies. And keep the wolf hidden. Jon says quietly. That's me. Yes. Luwin looks at Jon. Ned is warning us. Whatever he's discovered, it's serious enough that Jon's secret must be protected at all costs. We should call the banners, Robb says immediately. If father's in danger, no. Catelyn's voice is sharp. That's exactly what we can't do. If we mobilize, the Lannisters will know something is wrong. They'll investigate. And if they investigate, she doesn't finish. She doesn't need to. Then what do we do? Jon asks. Sit here and wait while father walks into danger? We prepare quietly, Catelyn says, as we've been doing. We strengthen our position without drawing attention. And we trust that Ned knows what he's doing. I don't like this, Robb says. I don't like being blind while father fights alone. Neither do I, Catelyn admits. But we have no choice. King's Landing. The Red Keep, 1 week later. Robert Baratheon is dying. The boar got him during the hunt. Tusk to the belly, tearing through leather and flesh. He's been bleeding internally for days. Ned sits beside the king's bed. Robert is barely conscious, his massive body wasted by pain and wine. Ned, Robert gasps, my will. You'll be protector of the realm, until Joffrey comes of age. Ned's jaw clenches. He knows the truth about Joffrey now. Has confirmed it a dozen different ways. The boy is Jaime's son, not Robert's. But Robert is dying. Ned can't tell him. Can't break his heart in his final moments. I'll serve the realm, Ned says carefully, as I always have. Good, good. Robert's hand grips Ned's weakly. You were always the better man. Should have been you on the throne, not me. You were a great king, Robert. Liar. Robert coughs. Blood flecks his lips. I was a terrible king, but a good friend, wasn't I? A good friend. The best, Ned says. And he means it. Whatever Robert's flaws, they were brothers once. Before the crown. Before the lies. Take care of my children. Don't let Cersei. Don't let her. I'll protect them, Ned promises. Even though they're not Robert's children. Even though they're living proof of Lannister treachery. Robert smiles. Then his eyes close. His breathing rattles. Hours later, King Robert Baratheon, first of his name, is dead. And the realm begins to fracture. King's Landing Tower of the Hand. That night, Ned sits at his desk. Before him, Robert's will. Ned has altered it slightly. Where Robert wrote my son Joffrey, Ned has written, my heir. A terrible necessary decision. He's going to reveal the truth about Joffrey's parentage. He's going to support Stannis Baratheon's claim to the throne. And when he does, Cersei will try to kill him. Which means he needs to act first. Ned writes 3 letters. The first is to Stannis, on Dragonstone. Robert is dead. Joffrey is not his son. The throne is yours by law. Come to King's Landing with your forces. I will hold the city until you arrive. The second is to Catelyn. Robert is dead. I am about to do something that will either save the realm or destroy me. If I die, protect the children. All of them. Especially the wolf we spoke of. Tell him I'm proud of him. Tell him to be brave. The third letter Ned holds for a long moment before writing. It's addressed to Jon. Jon, if you're reading this, I'm likely dead. The game I've been playing in King's Landing has claimed me, as I always knew it might. I want you to know that I never regretted protecting you. Every lie I told, every sacrifice I made, I would do it all again in a heartbeat. You are Lyanna's son, and she was my sister, my blood. Protecting you was not a burden. It was an honor. But now you must make choices I cannot make for you. The realm is about to descend into war. Stannis Baratheon will claim the throne as Robert's brother. The Lannisters will fight him. Others will declare themselves kings. The Seven Kingdoms will tear themselves apart. You have a choice. You can hide, keep your secret, let the world believe you are Jon Snow, and live a quiet life away from the Game of Thrones. Or, you can claim what is yours by right. You are Aegon Targaryen, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. You have a stronger claim than Stannis, stronger than anyone. I cannot tell you which path to choose, but I can tell you this. Whatever you choose, do it with honor. Be the man your mother would have been proud of. Be the man I raised you to be. Trust Robb. Trust Catelyn. Trust Howland Reed if you can find him. And trust yourself. You are stronger than you know, braver than you believe, and you are not alone. The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. Your father, Eddard Stark. Ned seals the letter. He gives all 3 letters to his most trusted man, Jory Castle. If anything happens to me, Ned says, send these immediately. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Lord Stark, what are you planning? Justice, Ned says quietly, and hopefully, survival. King's Landing, the throne room, the next day. The court assembles. Lords and ladies pack the room. The Iron Throne sits empty, its 1,000 blades gleaming. Cersei Lannister stands at the base of the throne, Joffrey beside her. The boy is dressed in royal finery, ready to be proclaimed king. Ned walks into the throne room with 20 Stark guardsmen. The northern soldiers take positions around the hall. What is the meaning of this, Lord Stark? Cersei demands. I am the protector of the realm, as named in Robert's will, Ned says. His voice carries across the hall. And I have a duty to the realm that supersedes any personal consideration. He turns to address the entire court. King Robert is dead, but before he died, he named his heir. Not his son, his heir. Ned pulls out a document. The lineage research he and Jon Arryn compiled. Joffrey Baratheon is not Robert's son. The seed is strong, Your Grace. Every Baratheon in history has been black of hair. Robert's bastards, scattered across the realm, all have black hair. But the boy you claim is Robert's heir is golden-haired, as are Myrcella and Tommen. They are not Robert's children. The court erupts, gasps, shouts. Cersei's face twists with rage. You're lying, Joffrey screams. I am the king. I am Robert Baratheon's son. You are Jaime Lannister's son, Ned says coldly. Born of incest between the queen and her own brother. Cersei moves. Her hand goes to her side, reaching for something. A signal. A weapon. But Ned is faster. Seize her! The Stark guards move. They grab Cersei, pull her away from Joffrey. Traitor! Cersei screams. Kill him! Kill Eddard Stark! The gold cloaks. The city watch of King's Landing. Don't move. They look to their commander, Janos Slynt. Slynt looks at Cersei, then at Ned, then at the gold that Littlefinger promised him, if he betrayed the hand. Take Lord Stark, Slynt orders his men. The gold cloaks move. Ned's 20 guardsmen are outnumbered 10-1. Jory Cassel draws his sword. Protect Lord Eddard, the throne room descends. Into chaos. Steel rings. Men scream. Blood flows. Ned fights his way toward the door, but there are too many gold cloaks. A spear takes Jory in the back. He falls. No! Ned catches his dying captain. The letters? Jory gasps. Sent this morning, just in case. He dies in Ned's arms. The gold cloaks surround Ned. Slynt steps forward, sword raised. Eddard Stark, you are under arrest for treason against the crown. I did warn you not to trust me. They drag Ned away. The last thing he sees is Cersei, holding Joffrey, whispering poison in the boy's ear. The game is over. Ned has lost. Winterfell 3 weeks later. The letter arrives with a crown emblem. Catelyn breaks the seal with shaking hands. Inside are 2 documents. The first is a royal decree. Eddard Stark, Lord of Winterfell, and Hand of the King, is hereby charged with high treason. He has been found guilty and sentenced to death. His execution will take place on the steps of the Great Sept of Baelor. All loyal subjects are commanded to witness justice. The second is Ned's letter to Catelyn. She reads it twice, then crumples it in her fist, and screams. Robb bursts into the room. Mother, what? Your father is condemned. They're going to execute him. Catelyn's voice is hollow. Cersei has won. Storm the capital? Get thousands of men killed. Catelyn shakes her head. By the time we reach King's Landing, your father will be dead. Where is Jon? Robb asks. In the training yard. He doesn't know yet. I'll tell him, Robb says quietly. He finds Jon in the yard, practicing with a training sword. Ghost lies nearby, watching. Jon, stop. I need to talk to you. He sees Robb's face and goes cold. What happened? Father's been arrested. Charged with treason, he's going to be executed. The training sword falls from Jon's hands. No, Jon whispers. No, he can't. When? We don't know. Soon. Mother is calling the banners. We're marching to war. To avenge him? Robb's voice breaks. We can't save him, Jon. He's in the Black Cells, surrounded by Lannisters. By the time we reach King's Landing, he'll be dead. Jon's voice is flat, empty. Yes. He walks to the edge of the yard, staring at nothing. This is my fault, Jon says. If I'd gone to the wall like I was supposed to, Father wouldn't have been distracted. He wouldn't have. Father made his choices. He fought for what was right. That's not your fault. He died protecting my secret. He died protecting the realm. That's what he does. What he's always done. Robb stands beside Jon. And now it's our turn. We protect the North. We avenge Father. And we keep you safe. Jon looks at Robb. Keep me safe? Robb, Father just died because of me. How many more people have to die? How many more? Listen to me. Robb grabs Jon's face, forcing him to look. You didn't ask for this. You didn't ask to be Rhaegar's son. You didn't ask for any of this. But it's who you are. And hiding won't change that. Running won't change that. Then what do I do? You stand with me. You fight with me. And when the time comes, you let the North decide what happens next. Wants to say he should leave, disappear, take the secret to his grave. But he can't, because Ned died to protect that secret. Died believing it mattered. All right, Jon says. I'll fight. For Father, for the North, for you, for us. Robb corrects. We're brothers, Jon. Nothing changes that. They stand together as the sun sets over Winterfell, and in the shadows Ghost howls. A long, mournful sound. The lone wolf is dead. But the pack is gathering. Winterfell Great Hall 1 week later. The Northern Lords assemble. They come from every corner of the North. The Greatjon from Last Hearth. The Karstarks from Karhold. The Marmonts from Bear Island. The Glovers from Deepwood Moat. Dozens more. They fill the Great Hall, and their anger fills the air like smoke. Robb stands at the high table. Jon stands beside him. Catelyn watches from her seat. My lords, Robb says. His voice is young but firm. You know why I've called you here. Eddard Stark, my father, has been executed in King's Landing, murdered by the Lannisters on false charges of treason. The hall erupts in shouts, curses, demands for vengeance. The great Jon Umber slams his fist on the table. We march to King's Landing. We burn it to the ground. We make the Lannisters pay in blood. Aye, other voices join. Justice for Ned Stark. Death to the Lannisters. We will have justice, Robb says. But we won't get it by marching blindly into the Lion's Den. King's Landing is fortified. The Lannisters have 30,000 men. We need to be smart. The time for being smart is over, boy. Your father was smart, and they killed him anyway. Now we need to be strong. Then we'll be both, Catelyn says. She stands. Smart and strong. We'll call every banner, every sword in the North, and we'll march south not as raiders, but as an army. Joffrey Baratheon sits the Iron Throne, a Lannister puppet. He'll demand we bend the knee and swear fealty. If we refuse, he'll brand us traitors and march on Winterfell. Or we make the first move, Robb says. We march south. We secure the Riverlands, my mother's homeland. We link up with House Tully's forces. And we present a united front. United for what purpose? Lord Roose Bolton asks. His voice is quiet, calculating. Are we fighting for independence? Or are we fighting to put a different king on the throne? The hall goes silent. Every eye turns to Robb. This is the moment. The choice that will define everything. Robb looks at Jon. Jon's face is pale, but he nods slightly. For now, Robb says carefully, we fight for justice. For my father, for the North. Beyond that, he pauses. Beyond that, we'll see what the realm offers us. The realm offers us nothing but chains, the great Jon says. I say we take what's ours. The North has knelt to southern kings for 300 years. Maybe it's time we stop kneeling. King in the North. King in the North. King in the North. Robb raises his hands for silence. My lords, I appreciate your faith, but I'm not. You're Ned Stark's son, the great Jon interrupts. You're the Lord of Winterfell. You're the Warden of the North. If the North needs a king, it's you. The great Jon speaks true, Lady Mage Mormont says. We've bent the knee to southern kings, and what has it gotten us? They murdered your father. They spit on northern honor. I say we declare independence. Crown you king in the North, and let the South deal with its own problems. Jon's face is unreadable. My lords, Catelyn says, this is a decision that requires careful thought. We should not. We should not delay, Lord Karstark interrupts. Every moment we wait, the Lannisters consolidate power. If we're going to act, we act now. The great Jon draws his sword, not to threaten, to salute. He kneels before Robb. I'll have peace on those terms. He says. They can keep their red castle and their iron chair. The king in the north. One by one, the lords kneel. The Karstarks, the Manderleys, the Mormonts. All of them. King in the north. King in the north. Robb looks at Jon. Jon sees the question in his brother's eyes. What do I do? And Jon realizes that this is the moment. The divergence point. The choice that will change everything. He can stay silent. Let Robb be crowned king in the north. Let the north break away from the Seven Kingdoms and fight for independence. Or he can tell the truth. Reveal who he really is. Change the war from northern independence into something else entirely. Jon thinks about Ned's letter. You are Aegon Targaryen, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. You have a stronger claim than Stannis. Stronger than anyone. He thinks about his mother Lyanna, who died bringing him into the world. About his father, Rhaegar, killed at the Trident fighting for love. He thinks about the lies, the 15 years of pretending to be someone he's not, and he makes his choice. Wait. The hall goes silent. Every eye turns to him. Before you crown Robb king, Jon says, his voice shaking, you need to know the truth. About me. About who I really am. Jon, what are you doing? Robb whispers. Jon ignores him. He addresses the hall. My name is not Jon Snow. I'm not Eddard Stark's bastard son. I never was. Confusion ripples through the lords. The great Jon frowns. What are you talking about, boy? My mother was Lyanna Stark, Eddard Stark's sister. Jon's voice grows stronger. My father was Rhaegar Targaryen, the crown prince, the last dragon. They were married before the Seven. I am their legitimate son. The hall erupts, shouts, curses, denials, lies. Lord Karstark roars. My father fought the Targaryens, died fighting them. This bastard dishonors their memory. He stands beside Jon. My father told Jon the truth at the crossroads, before he rode to King's Landing. Jon is Lyanna's son. He's my cousin, and he's the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. You expect us to believe this? The great Jon demands. On what proof? On Eddard Stark's word, Catelyn says. She stands, moving to Jon's other side. Ned told me the truth before he left. He carried this secret for 15 years, sacrificing his honor to protect Jon from Robert Baratheon's hatred. That's why he claimed Jon as his bastard, to keep him alive. Jon Snow is Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name. By law, he is the rightful king of the Seven Kingdoms. The hall is silent now. The lords stare at Jon with a mixture of shock, fear, and calculation. This changes nothing, Lord Karstark says finally. Targaryen or Stark, he's still just a boy. The North needs a king we can trust. That's Robb Stark. But if Jon's claim is true, Lord Manderley says thoughtfully, then we're not fighting for northern independence. We're fighting for a Targaryen restoration. The Targaryens are dead, the great Jon says. The Mad King burned men alive. His son got thousands killed in a war over a woman. Why should we fight to put another dragon on the throne? Because I'm not just a dragon, Jon says. I'm half Stark. I'm Ned Stark's nephew. I'm one of you. I grew up in Winterfell. I trained in these yards. I prayed in your godswood. I'm as much a wolf as I am a dragon. But you're still a Targaryen, Karstark says. And the North has no love for Targaryens. Then don't fight for me, Jon says. Fight for Robb. Crown him king in the North. Let him lead you to independence. I won't stop you. Jon, what are you saying? I'm saying I don't want the throne. I never did. I just want it to belong somewhere. Be someone's son without shame. Jon looks at the assembled lords. If the North wants independence, I support that. Crown Robb. I'll fight beside him as his bannerman, his cousin, his brother. No. Robb's voice is firm. I won't steal your crown, Jon. You're not stealing it. I'm giving it to you. It's not yours to give. Catelyn says quietly. Jon, you are the rightful heir. That's not something you can just surrender. Why not? Jon challenges. I didn't choose to be Rhaegar's son. I didn't ask for this birthright. If I want to refuse it, that's my choice. Is it? Roose Bolton asks. His cold eyes study Jon. Or is this secret too valuable to waste on northern independence? Think, boy. If you claim the throne, you don't just unite the North. You give us a cause that could unite the entire realm. Dorne hated Robert Baratheon. They've wanted a Targaryen restoration for years. If they learn Rhaegar's son lives, they'll march with us. The Tyrells backed the Targaryens during Robert's rebellion, Lord Manderley adds. They only bent the knee after the war was lost. If a new Targaryen rises, they might switch sides again. A symbol to rally support. I'm talking about winning, Bolton says. Northern independence is one thing, but restoring the Targaryen dynasty? That's a war we can actually win. That's a war that ends with us on top instead of crushed by southern armies. The lords murmur. Some nod. Others look uncertain. Jon feels the weight of their expectations settling on him, crushing him. I need time, Jon says. This is I can't decide this right now. We don't have time, the Great Jon says. Every day we delay, the Lannisters get stronger. We need to decide, are we fighting for a king in the north or a king on the Iron Throne? Give him until tomorrow, Catelyn says. Let Jon think, pray, decide what he wants. Then we'll reconvene and make our choice. The lords don't like it, but they agree. The meeting breaks up, lords drift away, arguing amongst themselves. Robb and Jon are left alone in the hall. You didn't have to do that, Robb says. Reveal the truth. You could have let me be crowned. No. Jon sits on the steps to the high table. They deserve to know. If we're asking them to die for us, they deserve the truth. What are you going to do? Tomorrow when they ask for an answer? I don't know. Jon looks at his hands. Part of me wants to refuse. Let you be king. Let me just be Jon Snow, your bannerman. And the other part? The other part remembers what father wrote. That I'm Aegon Targaryen. That I have a duty. A responsibility. Jon's voice breaks. But I don't know how to be a king, Robb. I don't know how to be anything except a bastard. Robb sits beside him. Then stop trying to be a king. Just be Jon, be my brother, and we'll figure out the rest together. But what if they're right? Bolton and Manderley? What if claiming the throne is the only way to win this war? Then we claim it. Together. You wear the crown. I'll be your hand. We'll do it the same way we've done everything since we were children. Side by side. But he knows it's not. Claiming the throne means war. Real war. The kind that kills thousands and breaks kingdoms. And Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen, whoever he is, isn't sure he's strong enough to carry that weight. Winterfell Godswood Night. Jon sits beneath the heart tree. Ghost lies beside him, the dire wolf's warmth the only comfort in the cold night. He's been here for hours, thinking, praying, trying to find an answer. Footsteps approach. Catelyn emerges from the darkness. May I sit? She asks. Jon nods. Catelyn settles beside him. For a while neither speaks. They just listen to the wind in the leaves, the whisper of the old gods. When I first came to Winterfell, Catelyn says quietly, I was terrified. I was a Southrun girl married to a stranger, expected to rule a castle in a land I didn't understand. And then Ned came home from war with a bastard baby, and I hated you, hated what you represented. Jon says nothing, but now I know the truth, and I'm ashamed of how I treated you, ashamed that I couldn't see past my own hurt, to recognize an innocent child. She looks at Jon. I can't undo the past, but I can promise you this. Whatever you decide tomorrow, I'll support you. If you want to refuse the crown and fight as Robb's bannerman, I'll stand by that choice. If you want to claim the throne, I'll stand by that too. Because your family, you're Ned's nephew, Lyanna's son, your blood. Catelyn pauses. Because I think this is what Ned wanted, for you to have a choice, to make your own decision about who you want to be. But what if I make the wrong choice? What if I claim the throne and thousands die? What if I refuse it and we lose the war? Then you'll live with the consequences, like we all do. Catelyn's voice is gentle. Jon, there are no perfect choices. Only the choices we make and the courage to see them through. Jon looks at the heart tree, at the carved face with its red sap tears. Father wrote me a letter, Jon says. Before he died, he said I had to choose between hiding or claiming what's mine. Between being Jon Snow or Aegon Targaryen, what do you want to choose? I want to be Jon Snow. I want to be Robb's brother and Ned's son, and nothing more. I want to live a quiet life and never think about thrones or crowns, or destinies. But that's not who I am. Not really. Jon's hands clench. I'm Rhaegar's son. I'm the heir to the Iron Throne. And every time I try to run from that, I feel like I'm betraying my mother, betraying father, betraying everyone who died to protect me. Claim it. Be the king they died believing you could be. I don't know how. None of us do. Not at first. Catelyn stands. But you'll learn. And you won't be alone. You'll have Robb. You'll have me. You'll have the entire North standing behind you. She leaves Jon alone with the gods and his decision. Jon sits until dawn breaks, until the sun rises over Winterfell and the choice can no longer be delayed. When he walks back to the castle, his mind is made up. He knows what he has to do. Winterfell Great Hall the next morning. The Northern Lords assemble again. The hall is tense. Everyone knows this meeting will decide the course of the war. Robb stands at the high table. Jon stands beside him. My lords, Robb says. Jon has made his decision. I'll let him speak for himself. Jon steps forward. His heart pounds. His mouth is dry, but his voice is steady. I am Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name, son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. By blood and by right, I am the heir to the Iron Throne. The hall waits. But I am also Jon Snow. I'm a Stark of Winterfell. I'm a son of the North, and I will not ask the North to fight for a throne in King's Landing, if that's not what you want. at the lords who've known him since he was a boy, who saw him train and grow and stumble. So I'm giving you a choice. You can crown Robb king in the north, fight for northern independence. I'll stand beside him as his bannerman and cousin. I'll never claim the Iron Throne. I'll let that part of me die. The great Jon starts to speak, but Jon raises a hand. Or, you can acknowledge me as the rightful king, not just of the north, but of all 7 kingdoms, and we fight not for independence, but for restoration. We march south to take back what the Targaryens lost. We unite the realm under my banner. Silence. Heavy. Absolute. But if you choose that path, Jon continues, you need to understand what it means. It means years of war. It means fighting the Lannisters, the Baratheons, anyone who opposes us. It means thousands will die. And it means trusting me, a 15-year-old boy who's never led anything, to be your king. He takes a breath. So I'm asking you, not commanding, asking, what do you want? A king in the north? Or a king of the 7 kingdoms? The lords look at each other, uncertain, divided. Then Lord Wyman Manderly stands. He's a huge man, fat and jovial, but his voice is serious. I fought in Robert's Rebellion, Manderly says. I was there when the Targaryen dynasty fell, and I'll tell you what I learned. The realm needs a king who rules with justice, not tyranny, not madness. Justice. Joffrey Baratheon is a monster, a Lannister puppet. If we let him keep the throne, the realm will drown in blood. But if we put a true king there, someone with northern honor and Targaryen authority, we might actually save Westeros. He kneels. I'll have peace on those terms. Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen, whoever you are, you're the rightful king. And White Harbor supports your claim. If Jon is Lyanna's son, he's a Stark. I support his claim. One by one, Lord Stand, the Glovers, the Serwyns, the Hornwoods. But not everyone. Lord Rickard Karstark remains seated. His face is stone. My father died fighting Targaryens, Karstark says. Thousands of Northmen died in that war. And now you're asking us to fight for one? To put a dragon back on the throne. I'm not Aerys, Jon says. I'm not the Mad King. You're Rhaegar's son. The same Rhaegar who started the war that killed my father. The same Rhaegar who stole Lyanna Stark. I'll fight for Robb Stark. I'll fight for northern independence. But I will not fight for a Targaryen restoration. Lord Karstark, Robb begins. No. Karstark's voice is final. You want to crown the boy? Fine. But Karhold will not support it. We'll march with you to avenge Eddard Stark. We'll kill Lannisters. But when it comes time to put Jon on the Iron Throne, we're done. He walks out. Several smaller lords follow him. The hall is silent. Robb looks at Jon. That's going to be a problem. I know. Jon's voice is quiet. But the rest of you? Are you with me? The great Jon stands, draws his sword, kneels. I'm with you, lad. You're Ned Stark's blood. That's enough for me. The king of the 7 kingdoms. The king, the other lords echo. Aegon Targaryen, the true king. Then he kneels too. Long live the king, Robb says. And just like that, Jon Snow ceases to exist. Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name, king of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, lord of the 7 kingdoms, stands in his place. The boy who wanted nothing but to belong now carries the weight of a kingdom. And the war has only just begun. The Northern Army, 20,000 strong, has marched south and secured the Riverlands. They've won 3 battles against Lannister forces. Small skirmishes, but victories nonetheless. Robb commands in the field. Jon fights beside him, learning war the hard way, through blood and steel and the screams of dying men. Tonight, the War Council meets in Robb's command tent. The map of Westeros spreads across the table, marked with wooden pieces representing armies. Tywin Lannister is at Harrenhal with 30,000 men. Roose Bolton reports. His voice is cold and clinical. He's blocking our direct route to King's Landing. Then we go around him, the great Jon says. March west, circle back south. That adds weeks to our march, Robb says, and leaves our supply lines vulnerable. He's been studying the map, learning the geography of war. We need to cross the Twins to reach King's Landing. Can we secure their alliance? Walder Frey is a difficult man, Catelyn says. She's traveled south with the army, refusing to stay safely at Winterfell. He'll demand a price for letting us cross. Marriage, most likely, Roose Bolton says. Frey has daughters and granddaughters he's desperate to marry into great houses. He'll want one of them wedded to secure his position. I'll do it, Robb says. If marrying a Frey girl means securing the crossing, I'll marry her. No, Jon says immediately. You're the heir to Winterfell. You should marry for political advantage, not out of necessity. I'm not the heir anymore, Robb says quietly. You are. You're the king. I'm just your hand. It's the first time Robb has said it so plainly. You're more than my hand, Jon says. You're my brother, and I'm not ordering you to marry a Frey. You don't have to order me. I'm volunteering. Rob's voice is firm. We need that crossing, Jon. And this is how we get it. Before Jon can argue, a commotion erupts outside the tent, shouting, "The Ring of Steel." Rob and Jon rush outside. The camp is in chaos. Soldiers running, weapons being drawn. "What's happening?" Rob shouts. A scout runs up, breathless. "My lords, riders approaching from the south. Hundreds of them. Dornish banners." Jon's heart stops. Dornish? They ride to meet the approaching force, and there at the head of a column of Dornish cavalry is a man Jon has only heard about in stories. Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper of Dorne. He's lean and dangerous, dressed in flowing orange and red silks, a spear strapped to his back. His dark eyes study Jon with unsettling intensity. "Well," Oberyn says, reining in his horse. "The boy king, let me look at you." "Prince Oberyn, we didn't expect Dornish forces." Clearly, Oberyn's smile is sharp. "My brother Doran sent me north when he heard the news. A Targaryen has returned. Rhaegar's son, no less. We had to see if it was true." "It's true," Jon says. "I'm Aegon Targaryen, Rhaegar and Lyanna's son." Oberyn rides closer, studying Jon's face. "You have his eyes, violet with gray. I'd know them anywhere. And you have her fire, Lyanna's stubbornness in your jaw. You knew my father. I loved your father." Oberyn's voice is matter of fact. "Rhaegar Targaryen was the finest man I ever knew. Brilliant, honorable, tragic. And he died trying to protect the woman he loved and the child she carried." He pauses. "That's you, in case you were wondering." No one's ever talked to him about Rhaegar like this, as a real person, instead of a legend or a villain. "My mother," Jon asks quietly. "I only met Lyanna once, at Harrenhal. She was fierce, brave enough to choose love over duty, even knowing what it would cost." Oberyn's smile fades. "And my sister Elia loved Rhaegar too, even knowing about Lyanna. That's the kind of man your father was. Impossible not to love, even when loving him hurt." Jon feels his throat tighten. "Elia Martell, your sister. She died because of my father, because he chose my mother over her. She died because Gregor Clegane and Amory Lorch murdered her on Tywin Lannister's orders." Oberyn corrects, his voice going cold. "Don't ever think Elia died because of Rhaegar's choices. She died because monsters killed her. For what happened to her, to her children. I know you are." Oberyn steadies him. "You're not like other Targaryens. No madness, no cruelty. Just honor and guilt, all wrapped up in a boy who never asked to be a king. I didn't ask for any of this." Oberyn glances at the Dornish forces behind him. "But here we are, 5,000 Dornish spears, marching north to put you on the Iron Throne. My brother sent me to evaluate you to see if you're worthy of Dorne's support." "And?" Jon's voice is steady despite his fear. "Am I?" Oberyn laughs. "Ask me after we've fought together. Let me see if you have Rhaegar's spine along with his eyes." The Whispering Wood 1 week later. Jaime Lannister is besieging Riverrun. With 15,000 men, Robb has devised a strategy. Split the northern forces, draw Jaime into a trap. Capture him. Jon rides with Robb's cavalry, 5,000 mounted men, hidden in the woods, waiting for Jaime to take the bait. Ghost runs beside Jon's horse, the white direwolf silent as death. "Nervous?" Robb asks. They're positioned side by side, waiting for the signal. Terrified, Jon admits, "This is the biggest battle we've fought. We'll win." Jaime's arrogant. He won't see the trap until it's too late. Robb grips his sword. "Just stay close to me, watch the flanks, and don't do anything stupid." Jon nods. But he knows that if he gets the chance, if he can capture the Kingslayer, he has to take it. The signal comes. A horn blast from the south. Jaime has taken the bait. He's advancing with his cavalry, chasing the northern scouts who've been harassing his siege lines. "Now!" Robb shouts. The northern cavalry explodes from the woods. 5,000 mounted men slamming into Jaime's forces from the side. The battle becomes chaos. Jon fights like he's possessed. His sword rises and falls. Ghost is a white blur, tearing through Lannister soldiers. Men scream. Horses scream. The forest floor runs red with blood. Through the melee, Jon sees him. Jaime Lannister, golden armor shining, fighting with a skill and grace that seems almost supernatural. She cuts through northern soldiers like they're made of paper. Jon spurs his horse forward. Ghost follows. "Lannister!" Jon shouts. Jaime turns. His green eyes widen slightly as he sees Jon, young, determined, charging directly at him. "Who the hell are you?" Jaime shouts back. They clash. Swords ring. Jon is good. Roderick Cassel trained him well, but Jaime is better. The Kingslayer fights with a speed and precision Jon has never seen. Jon blocks, parries, attacks, but Jaime is always one step ahead. "You fight well for a boy," Jaime says. He's not even breathing hard. "But you're outmatched." He's too busy trying not to die. Then Ghost attacks. The direwolf leaps at Jaime from behind. Jaime's horse rears in panic. Jaime is thrown from the saddle, hitting the ground hard. Jon dismounts. He approaches Jaime with his sword raised. Jaime rolls to his feet, but Ghost is there, teeth bared, growling. Other northern soldiers surround them. Jaime looks at the white direwolf. At Jon. At the soldiers closing in. Yield, Kingslayer, Jon says. His voice is steady now. You're surrounded. Jaime studies Jon for a long moment. Who are you? Someone you should have killed a long time ago. Jaime's eyes narrow, but he drops his sword. I yield. We've captured the bloody Kingslayer. The battle turns. With their commander captured, the Lannister forces break. They flee or surrender. Robb rides up, grinning fiercely. We did it. We actually did it. The Whispering Wood will go down in history as the battle where the Northern Army captured Jaime Lannister. But as Jon watches Jaime being led away in chains, he sees something in the Kingslayer's eyes. Recognition. Calculation. Jaime is smart. Too smart. And Jon's cryptic comment, someone you should have killed a long time ago, has planted a seed. Robb's war camp that night. They celebrate the victory. Wine flows, men sing northern songs. The Great Jon gets drunk and challenges 3 men to wrestle him simultaneously. But in a guarded tent, away from the celebration, Jon and Robb interrogate their prisoner. Jaime sits in chains, still wearing his golden armor. His hands are bound, guards stand at every exit. The famous Kingslayer, Robb says. In our custody. Do you know how valuable you are? I imagine quite valuable, Jaime says. He's calm, almost amused. What's the going rate for a Lannister these days? A castle? A kingdom? Information, Jon says. We want to know about King's Landing, about Joffrey, about Cersei's plans. Jaime looks at Jon, really looks at him. You're the one who fought me in the woods, the boy with the white wolf. Someone you should have killed a long time ago? What did you mean by that? Jon doesn't answer. Jaime leans forward, chains clinking. How old are you? 15, 16. Jaime's eyes are sharp. But you're not his brother. You fight like a Stark, but you don't have the Stark look. Dark hair, yes, but your eyes, those aren't northern eyes. Shut your mouth, Kingslayer, Robb says. But Jaime ignores him. He's focused on Jon. I've been trying to place you since we fought. Then it hit me. The timing. 15 years ago, the Tower of Joy. Eddard Stark rode there with 6 men and came back with a baby. Everyone assumed the baby was Ned's bastard, the result of some wartime romance. But what if it wasn't? Jaime smiles. What if Ned Stark was protecting someone else's child? Someone important. You're guessing, Jon says. But his voice is weak. Am I? Let me test my guess. Jaime studies Jon's face. Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. The great love story that started a war. Everyone believes Lyanna died at the Tower of Joy. But what if she didn't die alone? What if she died in childbirth? He draws his sword. One more word and I'll cut out your tongue. Jaime laughs. You won't. Because I'm right, aren't I? The boy is Rhaegar's son. That's why you're fighting this war. Not for northern independence, for a Targaryen restoration. Jon and Robb exchange glances. Take him to the cells, Robb orders the guards. And don't let him speak to anyone. The guards drag Jaime away. But as he reaches the tent entrance, Jaime calls back. I killed the Mad King to save King's Landing from burning. If you're smart, you'll remember that. I'm not your enemy, Boy King. I'm just a man trying to survive in a game we're all forced to play. He's gone. Jon sits down heavily. He knows. Or he's guessed close enough. It doesn't matter, Robb says. He's our prisoner. He can't tell anyone. He already knows about the incest, Jon says quietly. He knows Joffrey isn't Robert's son. That's why Ned arrested Cersei in King's Landing. Jaime knows all of it. Use him how? Oberyn wants justice for Elia. He wants Gregor Clegane and the people responsible for her murder. Jaime was there during the sack of King's Landing. He knows what happened. He knows who gave the orders, Robb says. Everyone knows that. But Jaime can testify to it, publicly. That's worth more than gold to Dorne. Jon stands. And if Jaime testifies against his own father, against his own house, to help us, the realm will see that even Lannisters are turning against the bastard king. Robb considers this. It's risky. Jaime's loyalty is to his family, not to Joffrey. If we can convince him that helping us is the best way to protect Cersei, you want to make a deal with the Kingslayer. I want to win this war. And sometimes that means making deals with people we don't like. The Riverlands 2 weeks later. Word spreads across Westeros. The North has allied with Dorne. The dragon and the wolf march together. In King's Landing, Joffrey Baratheon receives the news with characteristic grace by ordering 3 servants executed for bringing bad tidings. Tywin Lannister, camped at Harrenhal, reads the reports with cold calculation. A Targaryen pretender with northern and Dornish support. This changes everything. And on Dragonstone, Stannis Baratheon receives a letter from an unexpected source. Dragonstone Stannis' chamber day. Stannis reads the letter 3 times. Then he looks at Davos Seaworth. Read this. Davos takes the letter. His eyes widen. Your Grace, this is from Jon Snow. Or Aegon Targaryen, as he's now calling himself. Davos clears his throat. Lord Stannis Baratheon, rightful heir to your brother Robert, I write to you as Aegon Targaryen, son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. I know you doubt my claim. I know you believe I'm a pretender, using a false identity to steal a throne I have no right to. But I ask you to consider the following. Joffrey Baratheon is not Robert's son. You know this already. You discovered the truth with Jon Arryn. Joffrey is Jaime Lannister's bastard, born of incest. The throne does not pass to him. By law, it passes to you as Robert's brother. But consider this. If Joffrey is illegitimate, then Robert's entire claim to the throne is called into question. Robert won the throne by conquest, yes. But he justified that conquest by claiming the Targaryens were mad and unfit to rule. If that justification stands, then I, as Rhaegar's son, have a claim that predates Robert's. I am the rightful heir by Targaryen law. You are the rightful heir by Baratheon law. We are both right, and we are both threatened by the same enemy, House Lannister. I propose an alliance. Join your forces with mine. Together we defeat the Lannisters. We take King's Landing, we restore order to the realm. When the war is won, we let the realm decide. Baratheon or Targaryen. Let a great council determine who should sit the Iron Throne. I will abide by their decision if you will. This is not a trick. This is an offer of peace between 2 men who both want what's best for the 7 kingdoms. Your answer will determine whether we fight together or die separately. Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name. Davos lowers the letter. Your Grace? Stannis is silent for a long moment. He's clever, Stannis finally says. Offering a great council? Making it seem like I'd have a fair chance at the throne. Would you? Davos asks carefully. No. The realm loves stories. A hidden Targaryen prince, raised in secret, revealed at the perfect moment? That's a better story than Robert's brother who nobody likes. A great council would choose the boy. I should refuse. I should declare the boy a pretender and fight him alongside the Lannisters. But he's right about one thing. If we fight separately, we both lose. The Lannisters will crush us. One at a time. Stannis turns to face Davos. I need to see him. This, Aegon. I need to look him in the eyes and determine if he's real or if this is some elaborate Dornish plot. You want to meet with him? Yes. Arrange it. Neutral ground. Limited escorts. I'll judge for myself whether Rhaegar's son lives or if this is just another pretender. The Trident, the Ruby Ford 1 month later. The meeting is arranged on neutral ground. The Ruby Ford, where Rhaegar died 20 years ago. Stannis arrives from the east with 50 men. Jon arrives from the west with 50 men, Northerners and Dornish mixed. The 2 parties meet in the middle of the ford, where the water runs shallow and rubies from Rhaegar's armor still glitter in the riverbed. Jon dismounts. Stannis does the same. They stand facing each other, the son of the last dragon and the heir to the usurper's throne. So, Stannis says. His voice is flat. You're the boy claiming to be Rhaegar's son. I am Rhaegar's son, Jon says. Not claiming, am. Stannis studies him. You have Targaryen eyes. I'll give you that. But eyes can be bred. The Danes have purple eyes too. And they're not Targaryens. I'm not a Dane. I'm Aegon Targaryen. Eddard Stark raised me to protect me from your brother. Robert would have killed you. Yes. He hated Targaryens. Stannis pauses. But so do I. My parents died because of Aerys's madness. Why should I help restore the dynasty that destroyed my family? Because I'm not Aerys. I'm not my grandfather. You're 15 years old with no experience ruling anything, Stannis interrupts. You've won a few battles, captured Jaime Lannister, secured some alliances, but you've never governed, never made the hard choices that break kingdoms and make kings. What makes you think you're qualified to set the Iron Throne? Jon doesn't flinch. Nothing. I don't think I'm qualified. I think I'm terrified and overwhelmed. And completely unprepared. But I'm the rightful heir. And that means something. It has to mean something. Does it? Stannis' voice is harsh. Robert was the rightful heir to nothing. He won the throne through conquest. Through being strong enough to take it and hold it. That's how power works in Westeros. Not through birthright. Through strength? Then why are you claiming the throne as Robert's brother? If birthright doesn't matter, why not just seize it through conquest? Like Robert did. You believe in law and duty and the proper order of succession. That's why you're here instead of bending the knee to Joffrey. Because you know the law. And the law says Joffrey is a bastard and you're Robert's heir. Yes. But the law also says I'm Rhaegar's heir, and Rhaegar's claim predates Robert's. Jon takes a breath. We're both right, Lord Stannis, and we're both wrong. The only way to resolve this is together. Defeat the Lannisters, take the throne. Then let the realm decide. A great council. Yes. Let the lords of Westeros choose. Baratheon or Targaryen. I'll accept their decision if you will. Stannis' jaw clenches. You say that now. But when they choose you, and they will you accept the burden? Will you rule with justice? Or will you become another mad dragon, burning men who disagree with you? I don't know, Jon admits. I don't know what kind of king I'll be. But I promise you this. I'll try, every day, to be better than the kings who came before, to rule with honor and justice. If I fail, if I become a tyrant, then you have my permission to do what you do best. What's that? What Jaime Lannister did to my grandfather. Kill the Mad King before he destroys the realm. You'd give me that power? Someone needs to hold it. Why not you? Jon extends his hand. Do we have an alliance? We have an alliance. Until the Lannisters are defeated. After that, he pauses. After that, we'll see. They shake. The pact is sealed, and in the river beneath them, the rubies from Rhaegar's armor catch the light, glittering like fallen stars. The Trident and 2 months later dawn. The armies face each other across the Trident. On the south bank, Tywin Lannister with 35,000 men, the largest army the Westerlands has ever fielded. 20,000 Northerners under Robb, 5,000 Dornish under Oberyn, 15,000 of Stannis' forces from the Stormlands, 40,000 total. The battle will decide the war. Jon sits on his horse, looking at the Lannister army. His stomach churns with fear. Robb rides up beside him, nervous. I'm about to lead 40,000 men into battle against the most dangerous commander in Westeros. What do you think? I think you're going to win. Robb grins, because Tywin expects us to be cautious, to avoid battle, to play defense. But we're going to do the opposite. We're going to hit him with everything we have. The three-pronged assault, Jon says, reviewing the plan they spend weeks developing. Stannis holds the center. The north takes the left flank. Dorne takes the right. We surround them and crush them. Exactly. And when Tywin's forces are committed, when he's too deep to retreat, we spring the trap. The cavalry, Jon says. He's leading the reserve cavalry himself, 5,000 mounted men hidden in the woods to the east. We hit his rear, cut off his retreat. Force a surrender. Or annihilation, Oberyn says, riding up. The Red Viper is wearing his bronze armor, his spear strapped across his back. I prefer annihilation. The Lannisters murdered my sister. They deserve no mercy. We're not here for revenge, Stannis says, joining them. We're here to win, quickly and decisively. The longer this battle drags on, the more men die. Spoken like a true stick in the mud, Oberyn says cheerfully. Stannis glares at him, but he doesn't argue. A horn sounds. The Lannister army begins to move. It's time, Robb says. Jon, you ready? Jon draws his sword, a castle-forged blade, not Longclaw. He never got Longclaw. That was a gift for a different Jon Snow, one who took the black. I'm ready. They ride to their positions. Jon leads his cavalry into the woods, hidden from view. Ghost runs beside him. From his vantage point, Jon can see the battle unfold. Stannis' forces meet the Lannister center. The clash is enormous. Thousands of men colliding in a wall of steel and screams. The northern forces hit the Lannister left. Robb leads them personally, the direwolf banner flying above him. The Dornish spears strike the Lannister right. Oberyn fights like a demon, his spear a blur of death. But Tywin's forces are disciplined, experienced. They hold the line. Hours pass. The battle rages. Men die by the hundreds. Jon watches, waits. His cavalry is restless, eager to join the fight. Not yet, Jon tells them. Wait for the signal. Then he sees it. Tywin has committed his reserves. The entire Lannister army is engaged, stretched thin across the field. Their rear is exposed. Now, for the north, for the dragon. Charge! 5,000 horsemen explode from the woods. They thunder across the field, Ghost running at their head. The Lannister rear collapses. Soldiers scatter. The formation breaks. Jon fights his way toward the Golden Lion banner. Toward Tywin. But he never reaches him, because Oberyn gets there first. The Red Viper cuts through Lannister guards like they're made of straw. He reaches Tywin's command position and drives his spear into the old lion's horse. Tywin falls. He rises, sword drawn, but he's surrounded. For Elia, Oberyn screams. For my sister. For her children. He attacks Tywin with furious speed. Tywin is good, one of the finest swordsmen of his generation, but he's old, and Oberyn is young and fast, and fueled by 20 years of rage. Oberyn's spear finds a gap in Tywin's armor, slides into his side. Tywin staggers, falls to one knee. Jon reaches them. Stop! Don't kill him. We need him alive. Why should I spare the man who murdered my sister? Because if we execute him properly, with a trial, it sends a message to the realm. Justice, not revenge. Justice, is revenge. No, it's not. Jon dismounts. He faces Oberyn. If you kill him now, you're just another murderer. But if we try him publicly, if we prove his crimes, then Elia gets justice. Real justice. The kind that history remembers. Oberyn's hands shake. His spear trembles. Then he lowers it. Fine, but I claim him for trial. Dorne gets to judge him for what he did to Elia. Agreed. Tywin Lannister is dragged to his feet, wounded, but alive. His face is expressionless. You've won the battle, boy, Tywin says to Jon. But you haven't won the war. King's Landing still stands. Joffrey still sits the Iron Throne. And the realm will never accept a Targaryen restoration. We'll see, Jon says quietly. He looks across the battlefield. At the thousands of dead, at the Lannister army in full retreat. They've won. The Battle of the Trident is over. But the war has just entered its final phase. King's Landing 2 weeks later day. The city is surrounded. Jon's army, 30,000 men, after battlefield losses, has King's Landing completely encircled. Stannis' fleet blockades Blackwater Bay. Inside the Red Keep, Cersei Lannister stands in the throne room. Joffrey sits on it, his boy's face pale with fear. Mother, Joffrey says. What do we do? The army is outside. Father is captured. Uncle Jaime is captured. We're alone. We're not alone, Cersei says. Her voice is cold, distant. We have wildfire, thousands of pots of it, hidden throughout the city. The Mad King's legacy. If they breach the walls, we burn the entire city. If I can't have King's Landing, no one can. In a tower overlooking the throne room, Jaime Lannister sits in a cell. He's been moved to King's Landing as a prisoner, a bargaining chip for the final siege. He hears Cersei's words through the window, hears her plan, and he realizes what he has to do. King's Landing that night. Jaime picks the lock on his cell. The guard outside is young, inexperienced. Jaime kills him quietly, takes his keys, and moves through the Red Keep like a ghost. He finds Cersei in her chambers. Jaime, she runs to him. You escaped. We can flee together. I have a ship. No. Jaime closes the door behind him. I'm not here to flee. I'm here to stop you. Cersei freezes. What? I heard your plan. The wildfire. You're going to burn the city rather than surrender. Of course I am. I won't let that Targaryen bastard take what's mine. It was never yours. Jaime's voice is sad. It was never ours. We stole it. We lied. We murdered. And now it's time to pay the price. Jaime, what are you? He draws his sword. Cersei's eyes widen. You wouldn't. You love me. You've always loved me. Jaime's voice breaks. But I won't let you burn King's Landing. I won't let you become heiress. I'm not heiress. I'm trying to protect us. I killed one mad monarch to save the city. I won't hesitate to kill another. Cersei realizes he's serious. She runs for the door. Jaime catches her. His sword drives into her back. Through her heart, Cersei gasps. She looks at Jaime with betrayal and love and hatred all mixed together. You killed me. I'm sorry, Jaime whispers. I'm so sorry. She dies in his arms. Jaime lays her body gently on the floor. Then he walks to the window and throws his sword out. It clatters on the stones below. He opens the window and shouts to the guards in the courtyard. The queen is dead. Cersei Lannister is dead. Open the gates. Let the rightful king enter. Chaos erupts. Guards run. Lords panic. And slowly, the gates of King's Landing open. Jon's army enters the city peacefully. No sack. No massacre. They march through the streets to the Red Keep. The small folk watch in silence. In the throne room, Joffrey sits on the Iron Throne, trembling. He's 12 years old and completely alone. Jon enters with Robb, Stannis, and Oberyn. The Kingsguard don't even try to stop them. Jon climbs the steps to the throne. He looks at Joffrey. You have a choice. Jon says, trial and imprisonment, or immediate execution. Choose. I'm the king, Joffrey whimpers. I'm Robert Baratheon's son. You're Jaime Lannister's bastard, Stannis says coldly. Born of incest, you have no claim to anything. I choose trial, Joffrey shouts. I demand trial. Take him to the black cells. He'll be tried for his crimes. Joffrey is dragged away screaming. Jon stands before the Iron Throne, the seat of power his father died fighting for. The crown Ned gave his life to put on Jon's head. He doesn't sit. Not yet. Where's Jaime? Jon asks. Here, your grace. Jaime Lannister walks into the throne room. His hands are raised. His sword is gone. I killed my sister to save this city, Jaime says. Just like I killed your grandfather. I'm the Kingslayer. The Queenslayer. Whatever you want to call me, do what you will. Jon studies him. You saved the city. Why? Because someone had to. And I'm good at killing monarchs who threaten to burn everything down. Jaime's smile is bitter. Arrest me. Execute me. I don't care. Just make it quick. I'm not going to execute you. You saved 1,000,000 people tonight. That deserves mercy, not punishment. Your Grace? The man is a Kingslayer, Stannis protests. He broke his oaths. He saved King's Landing twice, Jon interrupts. Once from my grandfather, once from his own sister. That's worth more than oath-breaking. He looks at Jaime. You'll stand trial for your crimes, but I'll speak in your defense, and I suspect the city you saved will too. Jaime stares at Jon. You're not what I expected. What did you expect? Another heiress, another mad dragon. Jaime's voice is quiet. But you're different. You're kind, like Rhaegar was. Jon doesn't know how to respond to that. The moment stretches. Then Stannis clears his throat. Your Grace, the throne is empty. The city is yours. Are you going to sit it? Jon looks at the Iron Throne, at the 1,000 blades, at the symbol of everything he never wanted and everything he's fought to achieve. He sits. The Iron Throne cuts his hand, a small gash on his palm. A reminder that the throne is dangerous. That power comes at a price, but Jon doesn't flinch. He grips the armrests and looks out at the throne room. Robb kneels. Long live King Aegon, 6th of his name. Oberyn kneels, Lord of the 7 Kingdoms. One by one, the lords in the throne room kneel, and Jon Aegon Targaryen, King of the 7 Kingdoms, accepts the crown he never wanted, and the burden he'll carry for the rest of his life. Epilogue. 6 months later, King's Landing, the throne room. The realm is healing. Joffrey was tried and executed for Ned Stark's murder. Tyrion Lannister was pardoned and made Master of Coin. Jaime joined the Kingsguard again. The Great Council never happened. Stannis withdrew his claim after seeing how the realm rallied behind Jon. Instead, Stannis serves as Hand of the King, grim, efficient, and grudgingly loyal. Robb is Warden of the North. Oberyn is Master of War. The realm is governed by a council of men Jon trusts. But Jon himself feels like a fraud. He sits on the Iron Throne, hearing petitions, making judgments, playing the role of king. But inside, he's still Jon Snow. The bastard boy who just wanted to belong. After the daily petitions end, Jon retreats to his chambers. Robb is waiting. You look exhausted, Robb observes. I am. Being king is... Jon trails off. It's harder than I thought. You're doing well. The realm is stabilizing. The harvests are good. The lords respect you. For now. But what happens when something goes wrong? When there's a famine or a rebellion or a war? Jon sits heavily. I'm 15 years old, Robb. I don't know what I'm doing. No king does. Not at first. Robb sits beside him. But you're learning, and you have good advisors. Stannis won't let you make catastrophic mistakes. Tyrion keeps the gold flowing. Oberyn keeps the armies ready. And he pauses. I'll always be here. Your hand. Your brother. What if I fail? What if I become what they all fear? Another mad dragon. Then I'll do what you asked Stannis to do. I'll stop you before you destroy the realm. Robb's voice is gentle. But Jon, you're not going to fail. You're too stubborn for that. Jon laughs despite himself. A raven arrives. Maester Pycelle, reluctantly retained because he knows too much to dismiss, brings the scroll. Jon reads it. His expression changes. What is it? Robb asks. Reports from the wall. The Night's Watch is... They're in trouble. Wildlings attacking. Strange sightings beyond the wall. The new Lord Commander, Denise Mallister, is requesting aid. The Watch always requests aid. No. This is different. Jon stands. They're saying the dead are walking. Whites. White walkers. The stuff of legend. You believe it? I don't know, but I can't ignore it. Jon looks at Robb. I won the throne. I united the realm. But there's a war coming that makes all of this meaningless. The war for the dawn. And when it comes, I need to be ready. Stockpile dragonglass. Train armies for winter warfare. It's going to cost everything we have. Then we'll pay it. Because that's what kings do. They protect the realm from the darkness. Robb stands. You claimed the throne to save Westeros. Now you actually have to save it. Jon nods. He walks to the window, looking north. Somewhere beyond the horizon, beyond the forests and the rivers and the mountains, the wall stands. And beyond the wall, in the land of always winter, the true enemy waits. I'm not ready, Jon says quietly. You will be, Robb says. When the time comes, you will be. Jon thinks about Ned, about the crossroads where everything changed, about the choice he made to come back to Winterfell instead of taking the Black. He thinks about the crown he never wanted in the war he has to fight, and he makes a decision. Send ravens, Jon says, to every castle, every holdfast, every lord in the Seven Kingdoms. Tell them winter is coming. Tell them to prepare. Tell them the king commands it. What are you going to do? Jon smiles. It's a tired smile, but it's real. I'm going to be the king my father believed I could be. The king this realm needs. Not the king I wanted to be. Just Jon Snow, Robb's brother. But the king I am. Aegon Targaryen. The Dragon and the Wolf. Outside, the sun sets over King's Landing. The city glows golden red. Winter is coming, Jon says. And when it does, I'll be ready. The lone wolf died at the crossroads when Ned told him the truth. But from those ashes, a dragon and a wolf both rose, and together, they'll face the darkness. The end.